Welcome back to good old RVing, everybody. I'm Greg, and today I'm just going to try out these new heat shrink solder butt connector joints and explain a little bit of, options here. Okay, so to get started, we all know what a regular butt connector is, the crimper style. You got this, it's solid as can be, and so wherever you put it, it's not going to be flexible, it's not going to bend. Okay, so you're going to have like an inch and a half of space with that wire that you cannot bend it. So it's not going to be good for going like around corners, stuff like that. And plus, unless you have the heat shrink ends on it, you're going to need to get heat shrink and put over it to make it a sealed, tight connection. So that's the old school. Then we all know the lazy man's way. This one right here, simply put the wire in there. This folds over the top and pushes them together. Now we got this new style. This new style, you're supposed to be able to, if you look real close, right here in the middle, that's a solder ring. And then these two are just like clamping rings where it has the color. And then the rest is all just regular clear heat shrink. And so you're supposed to be able to heat it up and it'll solder the two wires together. In my case, I'm going to put 3 wires together. That's part of the reason I'm testing it right now. And once it's all soldered up, you should be good to go. So let's see how that's going to work. How I'm going to do it is I got 2 wires here and I got 1 wire here, and I'm just going to twist them like this, bring them back onto each other, twist them the opposite directions, squeeze it real tight together. Oh yeah, there we go. A little tight still, but it's kind of on there. Okay, so that's how that's going to look, just like this. And now let me heat shrink it and see how it works out. Okay, good. We get all this on camera now. Okay, turn this baby on, and here we go. Okay, well, this is an old heat gun. Maybe it's not putting out enough heat, but I could see in there where it has melted some of that solder ring, and that heat shrink is totally tightened all the way around it. So let me let this cool a second. Put my gun down. Okay, so we're going to turn this on. Uh-oh. That might not be a good sign. Okay, I don't know if you could read that carefully. We take our ends, zero out the meter. Okay, good, it's 0, 0. Okay, this should be good to go. Let's see. Absolutely no resistance, 0, 0. And let's do the white one. Same thing. Okay, so it does do a good connection. 0 resistance. Yeah, all it says is just need a heat gun. It doesn't say how strong of a heat gun, nothing like that. Not on that side. Let me open up the box. Let's see what it says here. Again, it doesn't say how strong of a heat gun. Use a heat gun with a reflector nozzle. Okay, so that's what they recommend, a heat gun with a reflector nozzle, which I was not using. So that might have worked a little better. Okay, and so yeah, they say that some of their customers can use a lighter to finish the joint, but we strongly recommend to use the heat gun with the reflector nozzle. And reflector nozzle is highlighted, and so that's probably a big part of making it work right. Let's see. To heat shrink the connector, especially for beginners, if you use the heat gun without reflector nozzle, please rotate the wire when you are heating and surround the wire so that the tube heats evenly, 3 to 5 centimeters in a suitable distance we recommend it from. Okay, so basically they're saying to rotate it basically the way I did it without the nozzle, but I think maybe my heat gun's too old, not producing enough heat. I mean, I think it got that heat shrink really good, and now that it's cooled off, that heat shrink is on there. But that ring right here, it should have melted down better. You can see just like in a couple spots right over here where you can see the solder melted a little bit, but you want that solder to be totally engulfed into those wires, and that I'm not seeing. So I'll try it again tomorrow with my other heat gun. Okay, so I've tried this one, and it didn't melt all the way, and so I got two other ones. I got this heat gun, which is 1500 watts, and I got my Mac torch, which goes up to 2500 the temperature. And so I'm going to try this one first, this heat gun, and see if it'll melt it all the way. And so I already cut the wire for the experiment right over the middle of that knot. And let's try this. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is this one. You can see where the solder has melted a little bit in there. Just go like this, crisscross, back. These wires are so much softer. Those wires were a lot harder. Okay, and then this may be over it. Oh yeah, that just slipped right over that. These are all 14 gauge wires as well, but different. These are a lot more flexible. These are the actual trailer wires I'm going to be using. Okay, here we go. Okay. And voila, we're done. Look at that. You see where that solder just melted perfect right here. Okay. And this still has a total flexibility. Nice. Okay, here's the conclusion. This heat gun, 1500 watts. And this is how well it did. You can see the blue one, you can see where the solder had melted. Okay. So if you're okay with 1500 watts, that might work. And I did not use a deflector, I just used a straight gun. Come over here, and this is my torch with the deflector, and if you can see right here, it tells you that the torch is 2500 degrees, so it's about 1000 degrees. Well, that's 1500 watts, so I don't know the degrees. I didn't check it with my degree gun. But anyways, this one, here's the blue one, and I think it did real well. I think it melted nice. And then here's the bigger one for the 3 wires. And that one I think did real well. So actually I'm liking the torch a lot better. And this was the first one I did right here using my old gun that I don't have no idea what the temps are on it. Okay, it still worked, but it melted a little bit, but I don't think it's that great. And on these things, I opened it and I'm reading and I'm not seeing anywhere where it says the minimum heat requirements. But it does say to use the reflector nozzle on a heat gun. Right here where I'm pointing. Yeah. See the reflective nozzle in the heat gun. And so I'm thinking that is exactly what I got right here. Reflective, where's my finger? Reflective cap right here on top of the heat gun. And so yeah, I did it exactly how they say, and I think the results were a lot better and quicker. So this is the way I'm going to do it. Okay, so I took these wires that I just did, brought them over to my neighbor Moreno.
Okay.
And he's now going to tell me what he thinks is the best one and what he thinks of the connectors.
Well, they look pretty good.
Yeah? Why don't you take the one that you think looks best and give me the other two?
I didn't put all my strength, but string enough.
No, I want you to put all your strength.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, and it didn't even break at the connection.
No.
It broke over there. Okay, so that's one. So we know that the connector's better than the wire.
Yeah. Same thing. Well, this one comes all the way from inside.
Okay, that was the one I did with the oldest heat gun.
Oh,
so
okay.
we know that it's not sealing good, or it's not holding good. Okay, now with this one. That one, it actually broke right at the lip,
Right
but
at
you could see where
it came off.
it was actually soldered together, and it broke from the inside where it was soldered. Yeah. So this one actually, with the brown, yellow, and green wire, was the best one.
Yeah.
As far as the strength goes, because it actually broke the wire before it broke the joint.
Yeah, this one comes all the way from inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one, it did the same thing. It broke the wire because you could see the rest of it, the wires right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you can see the hole. This wire comes from the inside.
Yeah. Okay. And so the best one was the yellow and green.
The yellow and,
and brown. That one I did with my torch heat gun.
Oh, okay.
With the curvature piece that goes around the outside of it. And so it gives it a much more even heat going around the outside. And so
which one is the one you did on the old gun? The red one?
No, the white and yellow.
White and yellow. Yeah, this one now. Well, actually, you can see it. Oh, you see the hole right there?
Yeah, it broke all the way from inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know. So, what do you think those for?
Well, I'm going to wire up I'm putting, you know how I put the receiver and the bumper thing and all that on there? Well, I'm wiring up electrical so I can have lights on my cargo box that I'm putting back there.
Oh, okay.
I already have the cargo box with the lights on it because I put it in my SUV.
Oh,
but I'm just making something in the cargo
I hope this is beneficial if you're considering using these. I'm doing my RV's electrical wiring using the 12-volt wiring for the cargo box I'm putting on the back. So that's the reason that I decided to go all out with this. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.